Oh, good morning, Tartaria Australia. Look who we found. Look who's in the house today. G'day, Dale.
Yes,
Man,
yes.
where the fuck you
Uh,
been, bro?
I've been very good. Been very good. Just yeah, man. You're oh
Mm.
training over
Yeah.
there in Thailand, becoming
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
Van
I've got
Dam, right?
I've got no perception of time anymore. I feel like you call me, I'm in Thailand. You call me, I'm in the van. You call me, I'm in Thailand. What's your
Awesome.
obsession with Thailand?
I don't know. It's weird. I told you I had my astrocartography done a few years ago, and
Yes.
it is a good spot for me. But I don't know. Like I kind of had this long term plan. I'd get some gold and silver. I'd put that away for a while, and then I'd eventually buy a place back in Australia. And I guess that's been 4 years. So I'm Still
looking at
wait
the
for the
property
price to go
prices
up.
here. I'm like, God, they're so much cheaper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, like living in somewhere like Thailand, if you've got some kind of an income from Australia, man, you could live there 6 months and it costs you nothing, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if I will live here, but I've probably spent a year and a half here in the last 3 years. So it's like, it doesn't feel like a foreign land anymore. It feels like when I get off the plane, I feel more like I'm at home. So I'm in this
Wow.
weirdly
So
low thing.
astrocartography, that's pretty much tells you the places in the realm that are best for your to align with your energy and or different
Yeah.
energies and stuff, isn't
It's
it?
really cool. Have you had it done?
I
I,
have. I
I,
have.
I've
No?
had someone sort of half do it, talk to me about it, but not properly,
Yeah.
no.
Well, yours would be interesting, Cal, because I mean, you've been all over the earth, haven't you? Really? So
Been all over the earth. It's so funny that sound. All over the earth.
it everywhere.
Yes. Well, the UK is one of my main spots,
Is it?
oddly enough. Yes,
The
Yeah.
UK, geez, man, you can pick better than that.
I know. I do love it over there, though.
Isn't
So,
it
like,
beaches?
so, bro,
So what's
what have you
happened?
been doing, man? No, what have you been doing? Cams and I've just been here doing this. What have
What have we
you?
been? I guess like the public stuff I've been doing. We've been continuing the Shrine series, which has got like really interesting. And again, like credit to you guys because Nikki, who's basically done most of the research for that, and then like Donovan, who's come in, he's got like a whole different angle. But like that all started with the Melania event. Not the Melania event, the Lismore event.
The
Yeah,
Lismore,
cool.
yes.
And it's been really cool because like I love where Nikki's gone with it, but she very much follows her intuition. She basically knew nothing about it, and it just the opening up of where that's gone just from following this like little hunch. And yeah, it all started actually with something Cindy said,
Yeah.
Ooh, go Cindy.
and yeah, and because Nikki was saying, I can't remember if you remember, but remember Cindy just rocked up at Lismore, like
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I
yeah. I think you said come and say hello, and then she like spoke for like half an hour or something.
yeah, Cindy Roberts. She's a powerhouse, that chick. I love
but
her.
she's like
If you're watching, hello.
she's just a
Yes.
natural orator. Like she's
Mm.
just a great speaker, and she's got very few people have got that kind of stage pre or just energy. She's like that when you're around her. But she said, I can't remember it, but she said, "Oh, you got to get back to country." That was the whole kind of theme of that talk, and like to find like what it is in your local area. So Nikki found this granite and water in her area, and this in this whole whirlwind thing, it's like led us to the shrine, and now we've started looking at like the DNA of the indigenous people, and then finding some of these scientists and stuff that were brought over from Europe around. When they did the paperclip thing, that they did the matchbox into Australia, and there's been this obsession with, I think it's like trying to understand the human being, the realm, the cosmos, all of it. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't say like we've got the answers yet, but then I've been looking a lot into going back into Joseph Campbell
Mm.
as well, because everything kept matching. And he talks about the world naval, and he uses a number of different experiences of like Native American tribes, but then also other religions, that everything has this beginning center point that they call the center of the earth, or and that aligns with the with the North Star and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, the shrine fits that, but then what he says about the world navel is it's omnipresent. It's everywhere. So
so that's like navel as in like belly button, not as in ships on the water.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just means it's like, and this is what I think, like especially with the stuff that you guys have done, because they've built all these structures and stuff everywhere. And it's particularly some of them that represent like death and rebirth, they are both movement and stillness. So it's like, it's almost a way of compressing I used to always talk about like compression of everything, and it's like they do that with buildings too. So they represent everything within the realm into one central object. Like there could be the pyramids in Giza, or many different, but it's omnipresent. So you'll see
like a fractal, basically, or like a hologram more, I guess, where all the info is contained in a smaller part.
Into one. Yeah. And that's why we're looking at like the Ark of the Covenant now, because there's a lot of stuff coming out in the mainstream media about the Ark of the Covenant.
Yes, Mr. Trump has built one.
Yeah.
We can't talk about it. We can't talk about it because it's in our show.
Yes, we can't. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Our
but
show is
anyway,
secret.
The point I want to say is the Ark of the Covenant is like the world navel too, because that's like the tablets were put into it because that contained the word of God, so it contained everything within the universe in one object. So anyway, that's kind of
okay.
Well, yeah, and also we've started our conference again this week, and yeah, that's I don't know. And
so
what's your conference? Is that an online conference?
Yeah. So we actually just started it last night, and we've actually we've got this guy coming on called David Oates. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a reverse speech guy.
Okay.
Sounds good. We were just talking about that this morning.
Yeah, I've been really getting into it because as he's coming on, he actually he coined the term. He invented this term, reverse speech.
And he's an Aussie, is he?
He's an Aussie.
Is he older now? Because I've seen some clips, but I think they're from the 90s. And
Well, he's been doing it for like 50 years, and he's
wow, okay, yeah, right.
He's had like lots of governments and intelligence agencies that have seconded his work and stuff like that. But some of the interesting stuff that he found is like reverse speech actually comes from the right hemisphere of the brain. And what we call intuition, when someone's saying something, but in reverse they're saying something else, we're like, oh, I don't know about this person because they'll do the reverse, and it's a contradiction. So we can pick up what we know as like intuitive or authenticity from someone because of what we're hearing in reverse.
Wow.
And so he said, this is when you will get that natural hunch of intuition that this person's being authentic because you're hearing. But then he also said he's done ones on babies, and before they develop language, they are talking in reverse. So it'll be a baby going boo 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 ga ga ga, and it's like, I want this, and you can hear it very clearly.
Wow, I've never heard that.
That's crazy.
That is cool.
So we've got so many questions for him because I've only looked into his stuff, but it's going to be really cool because it brings up this whole, like the mirrored reality that there's two things.
Yeah. Everything inverted.
Yeah, so it's really cool. So I guess that's kind of some of the stuff I've been looking at.
Yeah, I mean, the language aspect's fascinating. Cam and I've had an amazing last 2 weeks. We've aligned with some of the highest level 5D conversations we've had thus far this lifetime. And it's all about the shift in language. Like the next level of the game is a complete cleanup of our use of language. And like ultimately it's about getting to a point of clarity and agreement founded by unity consciousness. So, and there's so many ways. So it's all like about splitting all the words apart, because in this inverted overlay, they've joined all the words together and then created inverted meanings out of words. But when you tear them apart into their original 2 words, they mean something totally different. And it's about getting rid of all the lazy language that covers up, that creates confusion, like don't, won't, couldn't, wouldn't, shouldn't, something, sometimes, nothing. All those words we use constantly to basically try to mean something, but don't say what we're actually trying to mean. So it's like dropping all this confusion in language and getting to a point of total clarity of what we are saying and then coming to agreement. And that was like a profound shift in the use of communication. This week for us has been fantastic like that. And I can see how the new level of the game, the new level of being back as sovereign manifestors again, like, and out of the murk and mire of this, like, perpetually pushing forward this truth agenda, if you like, and getting caught up in it so much, is like a shift in language. And like, we also aligned with the conversation about moving everything from the public to the private, so that whole trust law situation, and then from the private into total sovereignty out of the system altogether. Like, the next two layers of the game as us as individual humans getting sovereign, and it's all to do with fucking language.
Language,
So
the
are you
spells
are
we
you
cast,
becoming
man.
more conscious of the words that you use then?
Mm. Yeah, and that's what it's all. It's having intention about what you want to say, right?
Yeah.
Because so many people are just sort of very fluffy, right? How you doing? Oh, yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah, that's okay. You're not really saying anything, right? So I guess
Yeah, yeah.
when you're focusing on it, it makes you express yourself better, right? It's like when you talk to elders and you ask them a question and they'll just sit there and kind of ponder before they answer. But when you're out in like society, it's like you ask something and people they're answering before you even got your words out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's like an example as simple as, like, we were talking this morning. By the way, everyone, I'm on a shit computer. This audio shit. You just
Yes,
have to
yes,
suck it
Kelly's,
up for this
yes,
edition. I can't do anything about it, so just suck
shit,
it
It's all
up.
right.
Um, it's like we were looking at the word. So if you say something like, "I don't like my kids watching television," right? Is this a sentence, right? But you have to get rid of the word "don't." So what are you actually trying to say? Like, what is the truth of what you're actually trying to say? The more accurate thing would be to say, um, "I think television brainwashes my children." Would be more accurate of the sentiment. Why don't I like them watching television? What am I trying to say there? But if you take out the don't, you have to reiterate the sentence that you're trying to get clarity on. Um,
yeah. There's also that thought that they say that your subconscious and your mind doesn't know what a negative is. So if
Mm,
you're saying to yourself, I don't like television, it's hearing I like television.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, but it's like the subtlety of understanding how we've been completely, I mean, literally spellbound by this use of language on this realm. Like, and actually to strip it all back, to separate it all up again, and to present it in its original form changes our whole presentation of reality, our whole presentation of our experience of reality. Like,
Mm,
basically, it's the difference between being enslaved and being free. But like, it's just so
totally.
extraordinary that we haven't, as a truth community, like, jumped on this so long ago. You
Yeah.
know,
We're talking slave language. Like, for example, we've been talking about resets a lot in
Mm.
the last 4 years, 5 years. And the legal definition of reset is the receiving or harboring of an outlawed person.
Say that again.
Uh,
Receiving,
the
or
receiving or harboring of an outlawed person.
wow.
That is what reset means legally. So just in the like we can see that they've got a completely different language, right? And we've got this, and I've said it so many times. There's just not enough words in the English language, right? There's not enough describing words, and it's like we've got this poor form. So we need to rediscover the words, right? And try and be more
Yeah,
eloquent.
what
that's
was
why
the language?
that's why we get tongue tied. How many times do you have a conversation and you almost have to intuitively. I'm like this with someone I know well, and she's always like, "I know what you're saying, Dale," and I'm like, "I know you know what I'm saying, but I can't say it." Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no, yeah,
Yeah,
there's
there's not
there's
enough
like a
describing
blockage.
words.
There's a blockage there, and I think it's
Yes.
because we've grown up on English, which is a whole other conversation, like where that language
Yeah.
come from. But like, there's this blockage there that we can't express ourselves. And you're right with the Indigenous too. Like they talk so slow and they ponder their answer.
Mm.
Even what's his name? Jordan Peterson's very good at that. As much as he's a wanker, but he's like you can see him processing when you ask him a question. He's like actually taking it in. I've actually been listening to Michael Tazarian a bit lately too, and he speaks so slow. Then he'll have a 10-second pause, but he's got to have the right interviewer. Because if it was me, I'd just be.
Yeah, I know. I'm
But
a
it's
bit
like
like that too.
you need to know like when
Need to
someone
slow
actually
down.
hasn't continued their thought process, there's still more coming through. But we kind of we jump in. But then there's a whole censorship aspect of it too, right? Because like because the whole 1984 thing, Like, what is it
Mhm.
like? You're like killing things when you're destroying words or saying this word's
Yep.
off bounds or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I mean, and then we think about the language within the truth community online. Like that's YouTube. Like everything about our media platforms are run by our invaders, basically, completely designed, innovated, and controlled by them. The language that we use within the truth community is controlled language. You know,
Yeah, it is.
we have picked up on so many words that have been offered to us. In our ability to communicate, they have filled in the language. So if you think of all the words that we would classically use, like reset, that's just like completely just ingrained now into the consciousness. Like we have the truth community has been handed narrative spells. We've been
True. Yeah.
handed our own set, which is so ironic since we are the truth community. And yet we've been spellbound by the language given to us as the truth community.
So what are we
Mm.
saying instead of reset now? What's your word, Cal?
Well, I mean, I always say next level of the game, man.
Next level.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that is your
Level.
thing. That is your
yeah, we are. And like the last show on Mulaney, we definitely like next level of the game. Definitely. And Adele, everyone's been asking me, are you making the September gig in Tabulent? Are you overseas?
yeah. Well, what's the date?
The 5th to the
5th to the
7th of
7th.
September.
Yeah, I've got to check. We've got like a family camping thing, but I think it's late September that I've got that. Yeah, okay, I'm in. I
Oh,
think I'm
good.
All
See,
right. Dale
publicly it's on
confirmed he'll
record.
be there. Guess we'd sell a few
Excellent.
more tickets.
Yes, because Dale, our whole show leads us through the discussion on the arc. And I think if you want to come in with your discussion on the arc, I think it would be a fantastic joining of our. So I don't want to talk about it live today on the podcast, but I think
Yeah, we'll
September,
save it.
let's go deep dive on
Mm,
this very important
yes.
object.
Link below, guys. 5th to the 7th of September. And yes, we'll be doing our show and heaps of other stuff. Bands, music, cool stuff, cool people. Come. Link
Yeah.
below.
Our first bush party. But I've
Bush
been thick
party.
in the middle. Ironically, we're talking about language. So this week I have spent the whole week um, designing the Tartaria Australia newspaper and getting through the hundreds of submissions that have flooded in from around the realm. And I can just tell you, it's fucking insane. Like to actually read this thing from all of the different Tartaria Australia minds from across the world. This is the most unique publication I think that exists in the realm today. Like I can't even tell you the broad and the depth of the articles and contributions. It's crazy. It's sort of like
Wait,
something completely unique.
when are you putting it out?
Well, it's going to be finished. I'll finish my work this week, and then we'll publish it, and then it gets mailed to everyone who's submitted their address for the first free edition. Everyone who hasn't done that yet, and then it gets posted out, and then people can subscribe to it after the first edition. But it's fucking cool, man. It's
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
cool. It's like at the moment, it's 60 pages
No
60
way.
now.
of crazy
Wow.
shit. I mean, our
Link below,
communities.
guys.
Yeah,
That's
like
so
you are
good.
going to love it. It is cool. It is the coolest thing I've ever worked on, really, because
This is
it's
like
just,
it's going back to like your big issue days, Kelly.
it is. It's the big issue. It is the big issue. It's the real big issue. It's our community's big issue. Yeah. So
Love it.
funny. But yeah, you should be contributing to that, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
you
there'll
should
be
be.
another one in 2 months. So
Rachel got an ad in
you've got 2 months for the next one.
So what are you going to do? Is this going to come out quarterly or is it going to be
it's
ongoing
every
Every
two
two
months.
months.
every 2 months?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be excited, my friend. It's going
Yeah.
to be the
Oh
way
man.
that we can promote any live events, anything that's happening within our community specifically. And of course, it's completely freely available to everyone in the TA community to put something in it.
Mm.
They can promote anything they want, speak whatever they want, add their theories, their photos, anything they want. It's completely free to do that. So you can imagine the sort of things we've ended up with. Can you
Well,
imagine?
this is a good thing too. If like if the censorship really kicks in and we've still got the
Exactly.
Tartaria Australia
Man,
magazine
I'm
flying
gonna be like
around.
That's right.
underground, man.
In real print, in your mailbox, not your fifth dimensional email box, but your actual mailbox.
Mm.
Campbell, are you doing the graphic design covers?
Am I doing the
You on the
covers?
covers?
No, I'm not. Kelly's the graphic designer person. I'm
What
writing
is
an article which I need
okay.
to finish.
Yeah, he's having an easy one on this one. He
Yeah,
gets
I
to,
know. Again, Kelly's work, but it's a kind of it's a hard job for two people to do, right? It's someone's got to only one. So Kelly's been putting it together and reading. I'm just sending out 12 million emails asking people to please give us your correct address, your full address. So
yeah.
guys,
People have got a
please,
bit
full
spazzo
address.
with their addresses. They've forgotten what they are. Yeah.
It's
Can,
The
can
amount
crazy,
of
you believe
man.
can you believe like where this has got to? Like just with like you two hooking up like to do a YouTube video and then like honestly
Yeah,
think back like the last 3 or 4 years, like you've done overseas trips, tours, you've done live shows, and you got a fucking magazine.
yeah, man, we got a fucking magazine. That's
yeah.
right. Fucking we got a fucking magazine. And that's not all, Dale. There's heaps of shit going on. But we'll talk
There's
about that
more,
offline.
but wait, there's
Yeah.
more. But
Anyway,
okay.
so how crazy is the world looking out there, bro? Like, it's
Yeah.
pretty
Well,
fucking
what do you think
crazy.
about this whole AI thing that's going on? What are your thoughts there?
What do you mean? Like the Palantir stuff or
What's Palantir? Just in general, it's just the encroachment, that's crazy, right? Like there's AI is now like stealing content, like and cutting it up and putting it on TikTok, and then it's even stealing like people's videos and AIing their mouth and turning them like into advertisements. There's government starting to use it to make decisions. It's getting pretty crazy out there.
I saw one article and it was about that they're using AI models now. And it's like, I mean, it makes a lot of sense if you're in the fashion industry because, like, to get a model out, hire the model, bring them over, do the shoot, like all that kind of stuff currently costs a lot of money. But they're just doing AI generated images for like models. Um, but I don't know if like, have you seen like all the tech advancements that Trump's bringing into America, and it's most of it's artificial intelligence, but it's like huge money coming from like Saudi and Europe and all these places.
As
So
far
it's
as them building infrastructure in America,
yeah, so very and so like I've looked at that too, and then if you look at the like Trump's brought in that crypto what do you call it executive order as well into America too, but it's all promotion of US cryptos. So it very much looks like that is like when they talk about like the last industrial revolution and then now this one like the tech revolution. It looks very much centered around America. It's America centric as far as where all the databases and stuff's being built. So yeah,
The
it's
fourth dimension. That's what I've decided crypto is. It's like the fourth dimension. It's fucking what the hell is it? It's like you're mining in
have
the
you
air in
have you
this
got
new
into crypto
dimension.
at all?
Yes, I mean, like obviously, like most of us, we've all like verged in and out, tipped our toes in, like can't quite decide if we think it's a fucking a massive delusion or if it's something that's viable. Like that's where I'm at. Is this a fucking massive worldwide delusion that we're all buying into some fourth dimensional concept that is completely not grounded in reality or any reality at all? Like what the fuck is it when you're mining for crypto, Dale? What is that? Like, if we're talking about clarity and agreement of language, what is the sentiment of I am mining for Bitcoin? Explain that to me. Can you actually explain that sentence?
it's crazy. Like just the whole correlation, right? Mining for crypto is supposed to be the next big thing. Like, and what were they doing 100 years ago? Everyone was mining, right, for gold
Mm.
with
Well,
actual picks and stuff. And now
And
it's
this
just
time we're mining
tapping
what we're
keys.
mining nothing out
No,
of
no,
nothing.
do you know
mining
this is what
data.
we like looked at this in the Shrine series too, especially around like or different resource mining, but like gold. We're looking at gold and oil,
Yes,
which is like kind of like the blood of the earth and stuff like this, and the obsession with hoarding gold because
yes.
it's not even like the practical use of gold or what they're doing. Like silver's much more practical and stuff, but it's like, what is this hoarding obsession with gold? And then we pretty much come to the idea that gold it's like a massive memory storer. So what they're really hoarding is they're hoarding the knowledge and the memory. So if you're looking at like how would that transfer if you're looking at everything in the digital realm is a mirror of nature? So if we're mining Bitcoin, what are we doing too? Because is that a part of the digital self that they're mining in the ether that's actually the memory of us in the like another layer in the digital? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's like even because I always looked at like because everything digital or electronic is mirroring, right? So it's a mirror and it's kind of like a falsity of what's real. But if you look at the blockchain, even get up images of what the blockchain is, because I always heard this thing, the blockchain. What the fuck is the blockchain?
Yeah, what the
But they're
fuck is the
but
blockchain?
they're basically like encoded little crypted bits that can't they communicate with the other, but it's completely yours. So and it's very much like so when we spoke to this guy on the conference, Clint, and he spoke about the song in his area that and the song line, and they had to go into an area that they hadn't done ceremony there for like 60 years. And then he said there was a lot of shit that happened and people got humbugged and stuff because that hadn't been opened. But he said the reason they're song lines too is he said the song that they have in his particular tribe, that's a chapter of the song. The whole song is what connects the whole realm, all the ley lines, right? So it makes one harmonious song. They've only got a chapter of the song, and it's like the blockchain. So blockchains, they're little cut off
Oh, yeah.
cut off bits.
Yes.
So it's
Hmm.
almost like, do you know what I mean? It's almost like a way of like
Yep.
it's severing, it connects everything, but it's severing everything apart as well. So I mean, I don't know where I'm going with that,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. No,
it's weird that they
I
say
get that.
mining if you come from the idea that mining was actually a way of like storing and almost harvesting and hiding our
Mm.
memory and our true history.
Yeah, well, I mean, all they do, yeah, like you say, most 90% or more just gets turned into bars and like stored somewhere, right? And then, of
Yeah,
course,
right.
mine, the word mine, and it's very close to minder, you've got to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Well,
it's
I
an
mean,
interesting concept, yeah.
gold has followed us. If we're looking at the start of the Tartarian consciousness, it all began with the gold. And then you've got the whole Anunnaki story about the mine coming down and mining for gold. The gold thing's been an interesting thing.
Yeah, alchemy. Mm.
Ironically, within the truth community, everyone has purchased gold, which is interesting
Yes.
because in Brisbane there's somewhere you can go to buy gold and silver, and obviously there's a few people around me doing that, and they're going and getting it and coming back and showing me their bullion or their coins or whatever, and but it's so funny because the whole place is full of like truth seekers, like people who are
Yeah.
buying gold. It's not like men dressed in suits anymore. It's all fucking blokes in their fucking tradie outfits and hippie chicks and older gypsy travelers, like all of our
Mm.
crew, right? Going to buy the gold. But people don't realize this. The more they've pushed our community, the more we've pushed for gold, which is what we've done to think we're ahead of what's coming. More and more gold mines are starting up in Australia. So
Yes,
as we buy gold, we are inevitably
Causing
contributing
more
to
destruction.
completely
Yeah.
destroying the environment. So it's
yes.
Yeah.
like,
Well, do you know, I heard this other theory around crypto too, is like they say, like particularly like with XRP, it's almost like a cult community.
mm,
Um, and people like they're really hardcore, like they won't sell. Do you know what I mean? Because they always get these ones to like fluctuate the prices by the big institutions buying and selling XRP, but like the base level people like us, they're just like holding. They're like, I've never given up my XRP. Do you know what I mean? But they say because they reckon there's about 500,000 holders of XRP, like small term holders, but they're more consciously minded, towards humanity. And they're saying like if there ever was like a massive peak and these people became very wealthy, that they're more astute in the way that they see the world on these things, that they would actually then get that money and put it
Do
towards
the right
building a
thing.
better society. Do you know what I mean? So I can
Mm.
see that aspect of it as well. But like with the gold too, we have you heard about like the golden blood?
no. Tell us about the golden
This was
blood
like
there.
Nikki was like found this, and this was um like some of the stuff she was looking at when it came to like William Barrack and what was the fuck? I'm gonna ruin it here. She'll probably hear this. Um, what's the name of it? Hillsville Sanctuary.
Ah,
right? And they were doing all these weird experiments with, like with this doctor that was obsessed with Aboriginal DNA, and this was the last ever mission in Victoria, and it was on the side of Hillsville Sanctuary. That was like one of the last tribal lands in Victoria, and William Barrick, who was the man there, he actually they've got his face positioned with the shrine, and we actually think that they needed to put the DNA of the Aboriginals into that land of the shrine. But anyway, it ended up coming out that there was like 50 people that they came across in like Central Australia that they said had got golden blood, and they use this bloodline AB, like the blood types are ABO, which is Abo, and this actually went to Cindy told me this when we went up and saw you guys. Cindy's like, I'm the Abo bloodline. That's what she told me. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? She's like, Abo is not derogatory. It's a fucking bloodline.
Wow.
But then,
Interesting.
then plasma itself, like blood plasma, is gold. It's actually like a golden color.
Okay. Like monoatomic gold. I mean, and it's interesting that
And
gold.
that's physical plasma. Then you've got like plasma in the ether and stuff like
Mm,
everything. So I went back to this David Icke book and he's done this whole chapter on plasma. Um, and like everything's plasma. This is like the dark matter of the universe. It's everything you can't see. It's all connected through this plasma. And plasma
mm,
is always in motion. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like when I went back to the start thing with the world naval, it's like it's always moving and it tears everything apart and then reconfigurates. So this is like it shows evolution too, that you can things like move around, become disjointed, kind of like chaos
Mm.
theory, but then plasma will always bring them. He described it as in like you smack like the balls on a pool table and they bounce around everywhere, but then eventually they form back into everything's going to form back into a proper structure. And that's like it makes sense of like a transition period that we're in now, that everything it's clearly all getting scrambled and thrown apart, but it's going to form into something new.
mm. Well, there's a lot of plasma around too, right? At the moment. And I was just going to say, gold runs in veins, right? Like in the ground, gold veins,
Yes,
just like
yes,
blood. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and in Australia, gold's in everything. Like it's in the gum trees, it's in our trees,
It's
it's in our leaves, it's in our plants. It's just so common here in Australia.
yeah.
but the gold reefs too, they run along waterbeds as well too. So
Hmm.
there's a water element, and that's what we thought like that it ties into the memory of the earth as well.
That
Mm.
makes sense. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna think about that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
the whole concept of I like just back to mining for a second. It just always reminds me of like fucking Pac-Man. You know, like Pac-Man always fucking comes to my mind. That's how when I visualize the crypto, I see Pac-Man. You
Pac-Man,
know,
yeah.
yeah, where he's just like chomping away through the maze and being chased by ghosts and chomping away and getting those little gold fucking whatever they were, like balls. I can't remember now. But
Yeah.
to me, it's just like, I mean, yeah, I mean, we're just going into another diabolical version of enslaved economy, don't you think? Even though it's like packaged as sovereignty and freedom. Like, I imagine now, I sit here and think, God, like, what are the kids thinking about this? What are the teenagers who have to go into this world and suddenly the economy and money is completely interdimensional? Like, they don't even understand it, let alone be able to compete with it or utilize it. Like, it's just, we don't even have language for it. It's this interdimensional economy. The current economy we exist in is dead. It's a dead economy. It's based on dead bodies, dead ghosts. It's a ghost economy. Like this one is an interdimensional ghost economy. Either
Like the
way,
Pac-Man ghost economy. Mm.
huh?
The Pac-Man ghost economy.
Yeah, I mean, how is the like younger people going to even interrelate to it? Honestly,
Uh,
like they're
uh,
never going to have it tangibly. Like gone are the days they're just going to go to work and get. I mean, the other slave system feels more comfortable than this new slave system, right? Because the other slave system, like we kind of used to, you work, you go work, you get money, and then you go and buy things. This
mm.
one is so different from that.
Well,
It's
this
a
one you got less
next
control,
level.
right? With cash, you've got it, right? Someone has to physically break in and steal it to get it from you. But you know, if it's all on a screen and in a data bank, it's just a keystroke and it's all gone, man.
Yeah, it's completely opposite from sovereignty and freedom.
Mm. Yeah, and this
I,
is the thing, and people are really only into it because it's seen as a way to make money fast, right?
yeah.
It's kind of a get rich quick scheme, you know, in some versions. I mean, obviously you can trade it and everything, but yeah, in the end, it's just getting us into more things that don't exist. It is
You
this
know, the
world
first
that they want
stages
us
when they
in.
did it was like Uber and Airbnb. They were like the first two because it was
Yeah,
the first time you could you literally like use this product or like this
yeah,
service and
There's nothing there.
there's nothing there being exchanged. It's just a direct transfer. You don't need to do anything. That's what they
Mm.
said. Airbnb is the biggest hotel chain in the world, and they own no hotels. Like
yeah.
it's an app. That's all it is. It's just an
Yeah,
app.
yeah. Same with Uber, right? Biggest taxi or whatever service in the world doesn't own a car.
Yes,
Has
own
no
nothing,
employees.
control everything. Own
So
nothing, control
what are
everything.
you guys going to do? Because we brought this up in our conference last night. But we like what are you going to do as far as the digital ID thing? Have you thought about how you're going to navigate that? Are you going to become incels on like a different platform, or what are you going to do?
Oh, so it's so like, it's
Don't care.
it's just like, add it to the admin list. Yet another one, it's nothing exciting. It's just an annoying, isn't it? Yes, we're just going to have to all swap over to the non-regulated platforms, and then they will become the new platforms, and that's where we'll all be.
Mm.
And it will all fall apart anyway because obviously most of these tech platforms aren't going to agree to this. Why would they? They're not even under Australian law.
Mm.
No one, our legal system doesn't govern Facebook. That's in fucking the States. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's all
Mm.
They've
fucking,
already they already said they're gonna sue the Australian government if they what the fuck? It might not even happen.
But
It might not even.
it's such crap anyway, though. Like they're only talking about the big social media platforms, right? But any 10-year-old can get on the internet and get on a porn site in seconds, right? Like that they're not
all
actually
gaming.
doing anything
Yeah.
productive. It's just this whole, blanket. It's all for it's all to help you, right? It's all for the children, when really it's about making us sign in and out so they know exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, it's
Look,
for the
I
adults.
think it might not even go through. Like there's actually
Yeah.
been pushback in the fucking in the Senate, like of like major politicians that are pushing back against it. So yeah, I think it might not even go in.
I
No,
mean, it doesn't
it's
even, yeah.
like
Yeah.
showing your license, and it's based on your viewing history. So if you have a child or something, they get on your YouTube and watch kids' videos, then next time you go on, they'll say, "Well, we've deemed that you're a child. Prove that you're not." Basically, I mean, and then they've got you right. Then they can link all the viewing history to a name and an address and all this kind of stuff. So it's because people didn't want the QR codes, right? So they just go around and come through the back door, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, like the whole like rollout of something like this, I mean, Australia is just like so viable. It's like, what is our government? It's just like there's no standing there at all. Like they're nothing. They're no one.
They're just
They're weaker than no one. Like Albanese could be bought for fucking $20,000 probably. Like it's so cheap to buy our government. We are really the op shop of the world. I will stand by that statement. Our government is for sale to the lowest bidder, man. Like whoever wants to, Facebook could buy out our government in a second.
yeah.
Like it just like who's going to offer them the best deal, sort of thing, to get whatever. Well,
I love that term, the op shop of the world. That
yeah, we're the greatest op shop. Come in, take whatever you want for
Yeah.
bargain prices, man. Yeah, fucking take our all our water for $5.
Mm.
Great, good on you. Your lucky day. Whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's crazy, right? Take our gas for nothing.
yeah, it's just
Nothing.
crazy.
Just have it. Sell it
So
to
But
I
other people.
I think people have become so aware of that now. I don't know if you know that guy. He's on like Instagram and that. He just does these short videos, very mainstream. Have you seen him? He just like attacks just basically all the government policies. But like
yeah,
they're real like rapid fire, but like really really quick and smartly done videos. And I
yeah,
think it's in the
Mm.
consciousness now too. But it's kind of like,
Yeah,
hey, what
have
the
you
fuck?
seen the guy who he's been getting into like the gas and all these basically people who are stealing all of our resources, and he's been doing like GoFundMe's and putting up billboards, and he puts them up and like faces them towards like these companies, and it's like, thanks
All
for
right.
stealing all our gas and paying no tax and things like this.
yeah,
It's from a crowdfunded campaign.
Yeah, yeah, and he does them around Australia. It's cool.
yeah. I mean, I don't know anyone who like would actually put any weight onto our government. That to me feels like three layers of the game down. You know what
Mm.
I mean? Like to me, it doesn't make it's completely irrelevant. They're
Well,
just there.
Completely, man.
I have noticed, like, I found this interesting in Victoria because you know how like they did the whole voice to Parliament thing and it didn't go through, and now they're basically just going to legislate it through state governments and councils, and they're already doing it. Like I've seen the Bendigo planning documents; it's all they've written a voice into it. Anyway, so like Victoria now, the first mob that they, or I shouldn't say mob, but like the first Aboriginal co-op that they're treating with is the Bendigo one. So
Yeah, right.
they're rolling straight ahead. And do you remember that guy that ran the voice campaign, that Thomas? He's like um,
No.
you know, anyway, he's like a UN stooge, but he's a Torres Strait Islander. And he's actually very connected with the guy who wrote the Voice to Parliament, which is this Mark Liebler, which is this Jewish solicitor. Who the Aboriginal Voice to Parliament was written by this,
Written by
this scientist.
Bloody
Yeah,
hell.
and actually, I was following him because this Rabbi Shmuley, I don't know if you know him.
Schmooly.
Oh man, I can't stop watching him. He just fascinates me, that guy. Anyway, so he was running an event in Tel Aviv, and he's invited Mark Liebler, who wrote The Voice to Parliament, and Nova Peris Kneebone. He's brought them
Oh,
over there, and then they've come back, and this Thomas guy said that it doesn't matter that the voice didn't go through. We're going to start legislating it, and he goes, "We will have treaty." But like besides all that surface level shit, I'm
We
like,
will. We will have treaty.
yeah.
they it almost seems like it's so not even the treaty itself, but it's so pivotal that they need to at least get a duped consent from the Indigenous people in Australia to run this shit through. Do you know what I mean? It seems
Yeah.
like that it's like vital for the entire takeover of the whole fucking realm. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
It's consent. Yeah.
but they need it from the Aboriginals in Australia. It seems so fucking important to them.
Because the Aboriginals still hold the law of the land, where the invaders control the law of the air and the sea. And then
Yeah,
that's why we're all lost at sea, right? With the whole birthing certificate and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's that. And as far as I know, like in Australia, there was, I think when the Queen died, there was like some, legal thing they'd put in basically annulled. And so even in their legal system, they're sitting there illegally, basically.
yeah.
So I think they're probably just trying to get some other form to be relevant again, and so they can wield some more power.
It's
Yeah,
interesting
but,
that
but I think that that's my point. I just want to say
yeah,
my
yeah.
point was like because when you're talking about like the takeover of Australia and Australia's offside, it seems like it's a rapid like we need to fucking sell this place off to the cheapest bidder before these people work the fuck out what has happened to this
What's going
country
on?
and like
Yeah.
who actually like what this nation, not this nation, but like what this land is and what the history of this land is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a rapid fire sale before we find out what the fuck's happened.
Definitely, definitely, and it's interesting that the new economy is of the air. That's interesting because they claim
Yeah.
ownership of the air,
It's all in the
of the
cloud.
air, the spiritual realm in the cloud. It's of the air. So crypto, all that
I
stuff
never
is
thought
of
that.
the air.
Mm.
Yeah, they of course they're creating economy of the air. The one we currently
Mm.
have is of the water. And on the side note of the water, I don't know, did you watch our last podcast about the missing bodies, Dale? All right.
No, I
So the
haven't.
one, all right, the one we did last show, was it last show camp? It was good. And we basically went through and looked at, where are all the bodies? Not just from history, as in why don't we ever dig up a Viking with his horns or a Roman with his sword or any battlefield with anything that would contribute to the idea of being with billions of people dead from genocide and or right back through to like Abraham, right? Right back through. But then if you just take it in the last 100 years, and we were looking at the fact that graves never expand, that we've got these cathedrals surrounded by these graves from the 1900s. That's our set of what death looks like, that they
Yeah,
never expand. And then you've got like you account for the population statistics and the amount of people born and dead over the last 100 years. Like literally, there's hundreds of millions of missing bodies that if you take cremation out of it, have never like been formerly, there's no space for them to be buried, basically. So we went through this whole conversation about where are all the bodies, right? And of course, that question's plagued us with Tartaria, where are all the bodies? So anyway, this week someone sent through to the newspaper. I'm just going to just talk about it because it's fucking, anyway, it's called aquamation.
Yes, yes.
So just on the topic of they own the water,
This is
right? Like they own the water, they
Yeah,
own the
okay.
air.
Yeah,
We
okay.
own, the man and woman owns the land. So
Yeah,
all the resources of the land, including all the gold, Dale, is actually inherited
it's
to
out.
us.
It's the commonwealth.
Once,
Yeah.
yes, once we skip through all of this system. So, but on the topic of the water, so acclimation, and get fucked, guys. I actually researched this. It has been legal all through the Western world for like since 2010, right? It is the practice of water cremation, where they literally cremate bodies in a liquid and liquefy the body till it becomes liquefaction. There's some bones left at the end, but there's liquefaction. That is then gone through a sterilization process and whatever they want to call it, chemical, and then put back into the water system. So,
Allegedly, this
no,
allegedly,
legally,
but
Cam, I've done the research now. This is what it
What do you,
does.
they
what
are
do you
literally
mean?
putting
What do
it
you
back
mean?
into the.
It goes back in, recycle back into the water system.
So there's dead people
So,
in the water.
all right, let's think about that. We've got this
Holy crap!
situation with completely no bodies and graveyards that absolutely never fucking expand ever. Like at the most in your lifetime, you would have seen
I've
expansion of an
always
acre.
thought that. I used to
Yep.
ask my parents that. I'm like, I go, eventually we're going to run out of room for graveyards. Like,
Mm.
Yep.
but it
They
doesn't.
never
No,
move. They
no.
never move or change just a little bit, but not enough to account for the hundreds of millions of bodies that would be requiring attention. But acclimation is the idea of basically water cremation, and it goes back into it gets cleaned up, sterilized back into the water chain, into the water cycle. So think about what that does as on a frequency level. It would mean that all that, so just from the level of frequency of us drinking,
Consuming it.
growing, eating within this liquefaction of human remains.
That's
Mm.
just so gross.
It
And
reminds me
remember,
when I used to watch those David Suzuki videos, and he's like, "You're breathing the same air that Jesus and Muhammad breathed,
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
but it's the
at
water."
another level.
but it's so
And
ingrained, man, on steroids, right?
I know. And when we think about, the very first show we did with you, Dale, it was called Watch the Water.
Yeah,
Mm.
yes,
Just
yes. Much
saying.
water, man.
Like, I'm only bringing it up because it's too gross for anyone to even bother to look at. Just don't bother, guys. Just don't even put your attention on it. Fuck that off. But the point is that it is part of their ownership of the water. So whatever
Mm.
they can do to enslave us and lower our frequency will primarily be done via water and air.
Yeah,
But
hence those
who's
funny
doing
lines
this,
in the
Kelly?
sky, right?
Acclamation.
Always the Jews, my friend. Always the Jews.
I was going to say, who has done this?
Yeah, yeah.
There-
Well, they
There's
won't know exactly.
there's
So just
companies
Google it.
now that are advertising it like as a alternative to traditional
Mm,
cremation. And then I think they
mm.
like
So it
boil all the water off and you get like this little lump of powder and that's the ashes.
really,
Yeah.
Kelly, you said,
Acclimation.
you said always the Jew. It's not actually the Jews, is it? They're
Always the
probably
Jews.
Well,
Always the Jews.
everything is, man.
Because they're possessed.
They're possessed by
If
the
you want to talk
soul.
about the ark, Dale, start
Yeah.
adding the word possession in there. Yes, they're possessed. So, but they have taken possession of the air and the water, right?
Possession,
That's
right?
what they've taken possession of. So our economy is going to go from a water-based death economy into an air economy. In which case, as a human being of the land, a man or woman, sorry, of the land, what relevance does interacting with a system that's of the air have to you? Absolutely none.
And
It's
this is the
completely
scam, right?
interdimensional, and it's a
They
scam.
create a
Yeah.
jurisdiction and then they get us to go in there willingly, right? And then it's all their rules. Where we need to be like, no, we're men and women of the land. Like, what, take your airy fairy crap and bugger off.
Yeah. So even though I know with the crypto market, like the excitement right now is because ultimately, if you were to live on this kind of thought process, humans were upgraded to mine for gold. That would be the story of the Anunnaki, right? That we
Yeah.
were upgraded to mine for gold, which means that if that was true in any sense, but who the fuck could prove that? Because that's an edge, right? Because you can't even get that far in any evidence. It's all just filled in ideas. It's an edge. But
Mm.
just say it was conceptually the truth, then we instinctively are natural treasure hunters. Like it's in our DNA. We fucking love that shit. If there's a treasure to hunt for, we're in, right? So crypto right now is exciting. the brains of humans because it's like a treasure hunt. Did you
Yeah.
find the treasure, and did you find it early enough? And are you one of those lucky ones that's sitting on the golden egg, the golden coin, that's going to suddenly be worth $1 billion, and your life's going to change? It's treasure hunting, right? We are psychologically geared towards, we're pirates,
Did you
you
hear
know.
that story about the dude who lost? He had like a wallet, like a physical hard Bitcoin wallet, and he lost
Mm.
it. Like I think it was like 10 years ago, and he spent millions and millions trying to find it. And
Did he?
I think he had 800 Bitcoin on it,
Oh,
worth like $950 million, and he lost it.
and
And this
doesn't
is
that
the thing with
But
Bitcoin, right? You can just
I think, yeah,
use
that
it.
goes to the point Kelly was saying though too, because I think it's part of that's even programming our consciousness too, to like, see, you missed the first one, but there's more. There's a new
there's
But
coin.
wait,
more.
there's
Yep.
more.
Is it going to be the treasure? Is it going to be the big coin? Like, it's interesting. I'm not dissing people's success right now, because right now there's a lot of people around us that are having success with this treasure hunt. And
Mm.
what they do with their success and their treasure will be fantastic. Like, they're going to do some good stuff, and like, it's all very exciting. And I'm sure there's people around us flowing who are going to contribute in that way to all the movement that we're engaged in. But, like, if you can sit there and say, I had $850 million in my crypto account because I have 800 Bitcoins, and now I've lost them, and now I don't have $850 million, you can see what we're talking about here, right? Air.
Yeah,
That's fucking
yeah,
air.
exactly. Until you get it out and turn it into something physical, it doesn't really exist. It's just numbers
Yeah.
on the screen, right?
And turning it into something physical, and that whole process will, of course, it's under their jurisdiction. It's of the air. It will become policed, and it will become the last place on earth you have freedom and sovereignty.
Mm.
100%. And don't think that this whole interdimensional market is just like new and fresh, and we're on the cutting edge of it, and we're there mining the air, and we're on the cutting edge of it like little fucking gnomes underground. Woohoo! Like, whatever. This thing has been in play for the beginning of time.
Yeah, and it's
Like,
totally controlled.
it's just electricity, right? It's just their world of electricity. It's just the fourth dimensional electrical currency market. It's literally
Mm.
currency, literally now.
Currency, yeah,
But
it's literally
you know,
because it only exists, right, in electricity.
you know how it does go, because you're right. It is in the air, but it actually relies off like computing power, which is coming from
Water,
minerals from the ground and water.
The
Yes,
water.
water for the
but
AI. So imagine
yes,
how much, what is it? I think an image takes like
It's 9 liters.
yeah, of water,
Did you know that, Dale?
no,
9 liters apparently for
One image.
AI to create one image.
Yeah,
really.
uses
Yeah,
nine
and so
liters.
there's these massive, massive AI data banks being built, right? And so they need like millions, right, of liters of water to flow through them. So they're programming the water.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
well,
did a whole show about
and
this.
then you have the physical structure of the computer. So you're needing minerals and water to create this ether or air. But then it matches with Age of Aquarius too, because Aquarius is air
Yeah,
sign.
yeah.
So I guess we're moving into that. That would make sense. We're going into an air.
Yeah, but
Well,
but this is the thing. I think like what's going on is, are we supposed to naturally be more in touch with the spiritual, the air, like just naturally? Is that what's supposed to be going on? And they've just taken over and they've made it all about, oh no, no, it's the L circuit, jump into our air, jurisdiction. I
our
think that
airspace.
they're running the story, but they just twist everything, right?
I mean, they've got literal airspace. Like, what is it? What is it, like 12 feet above your house? They own the airspace.
Do they?
Like, yeah, and so you can't just fly a plane anywhere because
Yeah,
they
you
own the
can't.
airspace.
Yeah, we
What the
can't
fuck is
just
so
fly in the
funny?
air, and there's jet streams and all these places. You have to be told where to fly, man. They completely control
I
the
mean,
air.
it's pretty marvelous leadership from their perspective, isn't it? That they've actually convinced people that they own airspace. Like
Mm.
that is like, what, like, talk about lack of clarity and agreement. If their
Well,
whole language is lack of clarity, I own the airspace. Okay, okay, good.
well, it matches to the infrastructure of SpaceX and also Space Force. Remember when Trump brought in Space Force?
Space
Yeah,
Because people
Force, yeah,
think,
man.
like, rockets and all that shit, but it's not. It's all like the, it's actually, it's all like the, infrastructure of SpaceX, and also Space Force. People think like rockets and all that shit, but it's not. It's actually, it's all like the, like, rockets and all that shit, but it's not. It's actually, it's all like the
it's the airspace, right? And the cyber infrastructure. That
Yes.
was like, and they're telling you, and that is under the Department of Defense. So they're telling you they've militarized
Yeah.
the air.
So we've got a new economy that's based on the air, and it's total, and we've got an AI takeover that's reliant 100% on water. Like if you like you cannot run AI or generate anything or even do a show like this without using hundreds of liters of water. This Zoom meeting that we're doing right now, it's probably taking bathtubs worth of water just for us to do this. And so, like, if you think about that, and then you think about all the massive, huge infrastructures they're building to accommodate this in their mainframe area in the world, particularly in America, the amount of water that's going to be put through, radiated to fuck, and then programmed with all that interdimensional digital mechanical technology, and then recycled back into the water cycle. Like, think of the corruption that they have achieved thus far of our water and of our air. They're the two things. Think of all the weather manipulation right now.
Yeah.
Like right now, we're in a time of engineered omens. Like we actually did research on the weather manipulation last show. We don't even know what natural weather is. It's been in operation way before our lifetime. You know, we are younger than the weather manipulation technology. And so we have actually never known a world with natural weather. It's been in operation since probably the 1900s, you know, but like certainly the 1940s. And so we're now in a
When
space.
was the Lmouth disaster? Was like that was the first record. What was that? The 40s, early 50s.
What was
40s.
that?
I think
issue.
40s.
Disaster. That was like the first official one. Yeah.
Yeah, caught on by two cameras in the 40s. Two video cameras actually were there to record it.
Yep, good on them. Bringing
Just,
out their technology when they need it, quickly hiding it again.
just happened
No,
to be walking around.
until Sony introduces it in the 70s. So essentially what I'm saying is that they have literally corrupted our weather, and in the weather, it's all to do with water and air. Water and air, and so whatever they're doing that's causing issues with the land, it's still technology that's affecting water and air. It'll be air-based interference, right? So like they have completely taken ownership and screwed with those two things. But of the land, which should be entirely all we're interested in, because the next level of the game is step one, you have to get out of the private system. The public system. Like you have to legally get yourself out of the public system into the private, because when you do that, suddenly all their laws and tomfuckery doesn't actually affect you anymore.
No.
So that's a pretty marvelous thing to know, that you can walk around this earth, on the earth of the land, and be completely outside of their first layer of legal enslavement.
Yeah,
And then
it's just like reality, right? They're using the air and the water to control us legally, and now they're using the air and
literally,
water to control us physically, right? They're attacking the land law with the air and water.
literally the air and the water. Like so powerful, that statement, watch the water. So, I mean, for AI can't exist without water. Can't exist, cannot exist. If they lost access to water, goodbye AI, goodbye the internet. Doesn't exist, can't exist. It's not land-based. And everything that the internet represents, all of this is of the air. They use water to sell us the air. Yeah. But when we actually look at the land, at walking on the earth as a man and woman, like that's an entirely different paradigm, an entirely different perception of reality.
And
then like
grounded, right? But you know, it's physical. There's no crypto floating around in nature.
Because what is crypto going to actually end up being? It's just going to end up being like a card, isn't it? It's going to end up being an ATM card, basically, where you can go and pull out cash.
It'll be like credits, like this, what we see
What's
in
the
the
fucking
movies,
difference?
right? You got your credits and your little things, but it'll just be 100% controlled, right? Like, oh, sorry, you posted something on Facebook that we don't like, so we're just going to dock you, you know.
Or they'll be like,
Bitcoin.
we accept Bitcoin translated into cash, but not XPR translated into cash. So they'll just use it to like obscure the the freedom of the fake air economy, basically.
And the other thing is too, because there is this like the whole thing that there's freedom within these cryptos too. But then the main institutions like BlackRock and stuff, they got the biggest holdings of these. Like I don't, they never. I see these people never even question that. You know, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, it's going to pump now because BlackRock's on board, and I'm like, I don't know if that's a fucking good thing.
No, it's definitely not. But
And
this is the scam they've been doing forever, right? They've been getting us to trade out the resources of the land
yes,
for worthless bits of paper.
yes,
And
Yeah.
now they've just taken it a step further. Now they're trading resources for air, right? For little flashes of pixels on a screen.
yeah, definitely. I mean, think of what Australia does. It just is so focused and fixated on selling off our land resources. It's all about the land resources. That's what Australia does. It gives away our land resources.
Mm,
Yeah.
totally.
And I guess that's even like that's the whole point of like of interest rates and mortgages and stuff like that too. That you take out this loan to get this plot of land which you never actually own anyway, and then if shit hits the fan, they take what is the real wealth, which is the land and what
Yeah,
was constructed there. So
all by design.
it's like that's how they get it because they don't want your money because the money is
Yeah,
nothing. I mean,
and
No,
it isn't nothing. It's all the
it's
time and
nothing.
energy that
but
you put into
It's
that.
paper.
especially now, like look at Biden. What did he release? Like 700 million or something stupid? And that was literally just someone typing in numbers.
And let's
That
not
was
forget,
it.
guys, let's not forget that who owns all the technology that like underpins the crypto market, the AI market, who owns it all?
The L, the Elons of this world and everyone else who's
Back to
been
the
put up.
possessed people. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
It's
it's
back to
like
the
Zuckerberg changed, Facebook to Meta, what, 2, 3 years ago now. But it just stands for metadata. He's just telling us he's collecting all the metadata, right?
Yeah, and putting
it's
it in
an
the
edge.
metaverse.
Yeah, and that in now we've figured out that that's powering AI's knowledge, if you want to put it that way. Which
Mhm.
is basically, so what's AI doing? Is it trying to figure out how to become human or how
Well,
to control? Like it's just interested in what we do and our data and our movements and our habits. It's
yeah.
you know,
Well, do you know what this made me think too? Because Calix, you've got that admiralty law with the law of water, and this is like goes into money and currency stuff too. But then, because this made me think, because when they brought out the metaverse, so people are actually playing in this metaverse thing, like the
yeah.
early that are in there. And this has been brought up into court cases now that we need to write law of the metaverse because people are saying, I've been in the metaverse and I got sexually assaulted. And I've been, have you seen
Yeah, I
this?
heard that story. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, it made me think about it now because I'm like, okay, how ridiculous is this? Someone was sexually assaulted in the metaverse, but they said there's no law. We haven't developed the law for the metaverse, which is what? The law of the air? Is this like the new fucking, is this the new law?
It's
Well,
the law
see,
of the air of the
but
multi-dimension,
it's
the
perfect, right?
multi-dimensional air law.
The
This is this is straight back to
Yeah,
problem reaction solution, right? It's like, oh, we need
Yeah.
to control the air and write law for it, but we need to get them to ask us to do it. So they're out there like with all these bots like doing sexually assaulting bloody pixels, and then they're like, oh, they're asking us to create the law. Quick, we're doing it for them. Let's do, everything's consent. It's just so twisted.
and there's a
Also,
fucking edge to it because you are never going to understand it.
The
Like that's
edge
the
is,
thing.
yeah, the computer screen, really. You can't
Yeah,
get
that's
into
the edge.
there.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on past this screen. Like, what the fuck? What,
And
like, conceptually, what is
mm,
going on? What do you think's actually going on, guys? Like, we're
well,
talking right now in different rooms. How is that happening? What is happening? What is being transferred here? How is this working?
mm, I
do
was
you know
watching
what I think
David
it is?
Icke last night. David Icke's got a new series on Gaia
Okay.
called AI and the Archons, I think. But he was talking about computers and he was saying what we see on our screen doesn't exist anywhere but on our screen. Like when the information's being sent, through whatever the air or cables, it's just numbers and lines of stuff. So what we're seeing now doesn't exist when it's being transferred. It doesn't exist anywhere but on the screen in front of us, which is
Mm.
interesting. And he was sort of taking it back to the mind, right? Our perception, is only what we see. Like it doesn't exist anywhere else.
That's right. It's the multidimensional air law. We are in the multidimensional airverse. That's what this is. This is Ready Player One.
Ready?
That's what this is. And isn't it funny if you just look at the word archon and break that into arc on, just for your general arc conversation, Dale, to have later.
Arc.
Arc on.
Yeah, like electricity on like an electric arc. Turn it on, arc
Well, I'm
on.
just thinking of the covenant.
The arc, yeah, of the covenant.
Yes.
Arc
Joan
on.
Arc on a spike being burnt.
The
Um,
ultimate thing is to turn that
Well,
fucking thing back on.
and
well,
we've got
this
all these things
I
like the
actually
archangels, right? Archbishops, and
Hmm?
arch is just arc.
Yeah.
do you know like the arc too, because that can be that itself can be a type of metaverse or actually a storing of that, right? Because I always talked about like reality compressions and I spoke about like the sentient world simulation, and it's kind of like this metaverse thing too, because I was listening to this other one the other day and he was talking about he said the seeds of evil will always self-destruct because people are always like, how are we going to fight? How are we going to fight this system? And we're trying to organize, how are we going to lead a rebellion or whatever? And it's like, no, it is on the path of its own self-destruction, which makes you think, okay, if this sin is, if it self-destructs, then it tells you it's inherently evil by its design, right?
Mm.
Because that's why I think that, I don't want to say reset now, but resets that what they it's the system itself that is not sustainable, that it will always self-destruct. But then it creates that's what the metaverse is because it knows its own self-destruction. So it's almost running away, hiding, hoarding all the data to create something new. You know what I mean? But then where does that put the ark though? Because if the ark contains everything, is that like the device that is used to store all that data? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's the program or something, isn't it? Like the way that like the overlay, like the holding the program of what they've put out for us to believe, right?
I
Yeah.
have so much to say on this topic, Dale, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. We'll leave
Yeah,
it.
this is it. We get into this in our
Kelly
But
did
I
show.
a
can tell you
document.
we're on the same tangent,
Yeah, something's come in. Let's just put it that way.
and we'll freestyle it
Kelly,
in September.
do you know, Kelly, you always like, I do this a bit too, but you always like kind of have your hands on screen. Have you noticed that?
And they're good hands, don't you reckon? They're good
So
hands.
I
There's a lot
listened to this,
going on.
I listened to this body language expert, and she said they'll put up a video on YouTube, and they did this deliberately as a study, and then just her face, like smiling, not smiling, and then she put one up with her hands, and that will always get more views if she's got
Oh,
her
why?
hand, because that tells it says that it basically says that you're open and honest.
Ah,
If
there you
you're
go, people. I am
Okay.
and the
fucking open and honest.
and the opposite is if when you're anxious and hiding something,
When
especially
you
for a male Campbell, is you will put your hand over your testicles.
oh, testicles.
Ah,
How
that's
would
But
right.
you even know this if you're on Zoom though, right? You'd have to
but
tell
then
people.
she said this other one, but then if you put your hands behind your back, it's like because we're instinctively think someone's like they got a knife, they got a gun, it's you don't know what they've got.
Guarding your back. Yeah, right.
Like tribal evolution and stuff like that too. So I'm like,
Fascinating.
I'm sitting in the gym and I kind of like stand like a statue now because I don't know where to fucking put my hands. But yeah, like I do. I know Cal always does that. She's always got them like here.
Oh
And when
Yeah,
yeah, and the
and when
amount
you
of comments we get about, oh my God, Kelly's satanic hand movements and
that's
gestures,
right.
and why does she keep nodding all the
yeah,
time?
I know. I freak people out. But
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. You used
that's
to do that
right.
all the time, like, oh, let's
Imagine if I was
consult
just like
me.
here like this, then have something to talk about, everyone. But no. So basically, we're sitting here in a situation where you should just like exit the air game. The air game. That's that. So if we go back to this digital ID, that's an air game, right? That's an air game.
Mm.
Like, but if we start to understand what it means to be of the land, like it
yeah.
completely alters your trajectory. Like it completely changes the direction of where you're going to take the next 50 years. And I can tell you now that this whole of the air scenario is going to just feel retarded and stupid.
It already does.
Yeah, we're just going to be like, what the
Like,
fuck delusion were we under that we needed that fucking airborne shit in our lives? Honestly.
yeah, and I mean, going back, 4 or 5 years ago, that was an airborne, thingy.
True.
which that word we can't say because of the censorship. Um,
What word?
the Corona, can I say that? The beer. It was airborne, right? That's
Oh,
why
right.
everyone was wearing a mask, so they couldn't breathe it in, like it was an attack from the air.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a scary air. It's pretty fucking scary, this air that we live in. Like they've done a lot of work on their air. They've put a lot of heavy metals into the air. They've got a lot of laws around the air. They like to poison the air. They like to create weather manipulation. They put a lot of frequency bands into the air. Like they really have specialized on the air and the
Hmm.
water. That's why we know nothing about our water. That's why we don't hear anything about the oceans or the seas. We don't explore it. It's why our drinking water is so corrupted. We don't have a clue what goes in it. You know, like I can't believe people still drink from the tap. But like, what a
Yeah,
strange situation we're in, where we
especially there's
can't.
dead bodies in there. Oh my God.
Yeah, aquified bodies, my friend.
Aquafied.
Aquified. It reminds me of Cloud Atlas, the movie. You guys remember that movie, Cloud Atlas? Of course, I can't watch it
Kind
now
of.
because Tom Hanks was in it, and ugh, I can't watch it now. But when I didn't know all that, it was quite a fascinating movie about past lives, right? Reincarnation. Did you watch
Mm.
it, Dale? It was really
Never
quite.
seen it. Never heard of it.
Ah, it's worth it. Cloud Atlas. It's a 3 hour epic saga, but it basically goes through people's like cycle through their lives and rebirthing and taking a new character, but it's still being them, and it's quite complicated. But it goes into a little bit into the future, probably 2026, and in that future, the workers, us, are eating each other. Like they're just eating this pink liquefied
The
bodies of
pink goo,
themselves.
right? Like they have at
Yeah.
McDonald's.
That's right, the chicken nugget goo. Yeah.
Mm.
So I like it, it's been presented in enough movies for me to probably validate it as why not? Why wouldn't they do that?
Yeah,
But
well, I mean,
That was the pink. That was the P Diddy stuff. He was. They were drinking the pink stuff.
yeah, drinking the pink
were
stuff.
they drinking the pink
Drinking
Remember?
the
stuff?
pink stuff.
It's
Apparently
also what
they
was
had
that?
reports there was like plane. They were coming in with plane loads of like this pink
What
shit.
was the pink stuff? Do we know?
Some were saying it was a concoction of like MDMA and like
Oh,
liquid MDMA and something else. I don't know.
oh,
Bodies,
plane loads.
liquefied
Oh my
bodies.
God.
Yeah, something. But
Uh,
it was like a military operation. They were bringing him in the plane loads
mm, in the air.
in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into the
And
water.
and I see all of our information travels through the air now too, right? From the sun and
Mate,
moons and all that. It used to be all in land cables, but now everything's
yeah.
shot
They're
through the
trying
air
to
and
they're trying to
Bluetooth
lift
and
us off.
Wi-Fi and yeah, yeah.
The whole aim of the game is to get us off the land, Dale. That
Yeah,
is the
I
aim.
agree.
Get us, lift us up into the air and ship us out to sea. Like
Mm,
that is the aim of their game. Get
yeah.
us off the fucking land. That's why we talked about the Indigenous. That's why the Indigenous are a block worldwide, but particularly here in Australia, because they're so land born. They're unshiftable of the land. They don't claim to be of the air or of the water. They are air. They are earth bound. So
Yeah.
that's complicated.
They're trying to get us to abandon it. So they, by their law, they can go, oh, all the land's abandoned, so we'll just claim it. Look what
Yeah,
we found.
yeah, yeah. So yes, so that's their mission, everyone. Just so you know, as long as you lift off and start to live your life in the air, you are going to be subject to their absolutely demoralizing, completely anti-life, anti-human legal system, taxation system, jail time, jail system, the whole lot.
Mm,
If you decide to move your existence into the multi-dimensional airborne reality
mm.
of the new economy and the new world and the AI is water-based as well. So I mean, anyway, that's just like
I mean, I think, like, do you think that AI is going to kill the internet? Because I've been wondering, because it's becoming so,
that's like a paradox.
like, at the moment,
The AI is the internet.
yeah,
What do
yeah,
you
but
mean?
but it's going to eat itself, right? Because at the
Eat
moment, like,
itself because it's mining itself, Campbell. It's
it's
mining
going to
itself.
mine itself
Well,
into
that's what I said to you
non-existence.
before, the Campbell. The evil has the seed of self-destruction. So
Yeah, because like at where we are now with the internet, everyone's pretty much getting pissed off with it, right? Like it's too much. There's too many platforms. It's so false. We know that half of it or more is bots. and it's all about data collection, right? And basically them enslaving us more. So I think we're at the point where people are like, why am I even doing this anymore? And now you bring in AI, and that just quadruples the problem, right? Because now we've literally got false videos, false advertising, all these false images. We don't know what's real, you can't really take anything as information of any standing anymore, really. So because of that, it's kind of made itself irrelevant, right?
I mean, could you tell the difference between, say, a weather report from someone's backyard in fucking Turkey right now or a Hollywood blockbuster? Could you really tell the freaking difference? Like literally our whole world, part of the giving your soul over to the air is to like only perceive reality through the image and visions that they are giving you, feeding you back. And since
Mm.
they own all the technology, own all the platforms, own all the infrastructure, and are possessed and have a very strong agenda to take over and possess all life, then
Mm.
everything you're watching online you should take as basically more likely than not
Yeah, with a
fake.
big bucket of salt. Have you seen they've re-released for the 59th time War of the Worlds?
No.
It's come back out. It's got like Ice Cube in it, but the whole
Oh,
movie
really?
is done through a screen.
Or has it?
It's like him FaceTiming his son, and then his son's out there, showing video. Like the whole thing is through the screen, right? So
Really?
it's kind of telling us that, this is what they can do. They can introduce all these, disasters and invasions and all this stuff, and they don't even have to do it anymore. They just got to make a few videos and make them viral, and everyone's going to believe it. It's all through the screen, through the air, right? Like through it, looking at stuff that doesn't exist and believing it's real and acting as if it's real.
I mean, the
But
weather one is an interesting one
The what?
because the weather stuff that's
The weather.
going on around the realm right now, that's the
Mm.
interesting one because everyone's gonna dismiss any alien stuff. Everyone's gonna just put it down to Project Bluebeam or drones or whatever, the agenda, that'll get dismissed. Any one world messiah, any religion, anything biblical prophecies, any Abrahamic, we'll all dismiss them. But when it comes to the weather, we're convinced that what we're watching is actual videos from people's handheld mobile devices in these locations with the background noise of a different language. Like that's what we're getting used to watching as far as these engineered omens go, right? But like ultimately, we've got until you're standing in a situation where you are experiencing an actual weather situation, you can't even declare. Like in how's it over there where you are, Dow? How's the weather?
beautiful.
Yeah. So my partner's on an island right now, also beautiful. We've spoken to people all the way around the world, right? Who have been close to or in the places that we're watching these terrible weather reports from of massive destruction, and they're fine. Like, don't
Mm.
even know anything's going on.
Yeah.
Well, there's the problem with the interconnectedness though of the internet too, because I've got a mate who's like he's obsessed with like natural disasters and stuff, and he'll post them all day because there's something happening somewhere. But you're right. I question whether they're even happening because it's sort like I saw
We
one in
don't know.
India, this
Well, was it
massive.
you that was speaking about what's his name? The false flag dude who lives in Bali? Was that you?
Sorry, you
What's
cut out there.
Oh, the dude who does the false flags who lives in Bali. What's his name?
Oh, Ole, yeah, yeah. I
Ole.
caught
Was
up
that
with.
you who was talking about him and someone asked him about the volcano? And he looked out the window and he said, "Oh no, there's nothing going on here."
So it
I
just
mean,
cut. Yeah,
But
yeah,
we just don't
yeah,
know, right? Like,
yeah. Well, that's right.
oh,
and
you're
before
right.
everyone like fucking screams and yells in the comments right now, we know that some people are going through actual traumatic experiences. Right? We're not saying that everything is fake. Well, what we're
Mm,
saying is like the context and the content that we're getting, specifically on the topic of weather right now on the channels. I would say like look closer to Hollywood in that scenario because
mm,
at the end of the day, these are engineered omens. They
yes.
want the weather to be fitting into biblical prophecy. They want the weather to be fitting into
Yeah,
Abrahamic prophecy, right? So
Mm,
yes, and we know that they manipulate the weather. So yes, there are weather events that are occurring that are shit and affecting people, but the amount that we're seeing constantly relayed to us through handheld, what looks like the most authentic videos you could get from someone's mobile device with the background languages attached. Like, how many of those are actually real? So I challenge people right now in the comments.
Are you noticing though too now with like revelationist Christians too that they're really jumping? They're like, so every time there's like
engineered omens.
an earthquake, yeah, they can't see this,
It's good.
this is
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've got, I've
funniest
got a friend
thing,
like
the funniest thing about that is when they're like talking about all these UFOs, whatever they are, UAPs, being the return of the fallen angels. I'm like, dudes, look around. They're already here. What
Yeah.
are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, Trump's fun like that. What's been out on Trump now? I think like Trump was Lucifer became Elvis,
Elvis.
Elvis became Superman, and Elvis and Superman became Trump. Like that's the lineage of the Trump. Like, but whatever. I mean, that's an
Yeah.
edge, right? Because
And
we're never fucking going to know that.
Superman's a fallen one too, right? His
Yeah,
real name is something L.
Kal
Yeah,
El.
Carl, yeah, and his dad's name's L, and all that. Like they're the L man, the Elohim, right? And same as all the archangels, right? And Mike L and Gabriel and it's
But
L.
again, it's a fucking edge because are you ever
It
going to
is.
really be able to just like validate this to be evidence of truth? Are you really ever going to know? Because
No,
even if a fallen angel made itself known as the president of the world, like, are you going to believe it? Are you going to be like, finally, evidence of a fallen angel? No, there'll be all this other shit going. Like, basically, it's an edge. We're never going to know it. And
no,
actually, it's an edge that everything we know, they have introduced
totally.
right from the beginning of our lifetime.
Yeah, totally.
What what's an original truth that you could say beyond a shadow of doubt in your life experience to this date that you can validate as A, your own, and B, to be true?
Bicarb makes you crap.
Bicarb does fucking make you shit your pants. It's true. It's
That's the
totally
truth.
true.
Take that one
Yep.
to the bank.
Yeah, it's true. We have had a lot of that this week. Yes. But like, there's not much. There's not much to our
No.
knowledge or
yeah,
our
that's true.
understanding of, or our even to our own wisdom, which are our own personal experiences, that we could validate as being A, our own, and B, true.
But
Yeah,
that's why I think like the most simplicity of truth and like all law is again like based on nature. So it's provable, and it's provable like through cycles. Like you can see every day the sun comes up, the sun comes down, the
yeah.
tree drops its leaves. You know,
It's land, right? It's
yeah.
land-based, Dale.
Mm.
That is the only truth, and that's the simplest truth that we could. It would probably probably the onlyest
And that's
man,
where,
woman, or woman, man of the earth.
yeah, and
Well,
that's where true
that's like
time
all
exists,
the
right?
Campbell stuff I was been looking at again lately. He's like he just goes through all these myths all around the world, and he's like, well, he said they're all nature.
Mm.
They're all telling you the myths and the cycles, so we understand ourselves and our connection with the cycles of the earth and
Yeah,
how things grow and how things die. And
that's
we've created we've created these myths. So, and that's why
mm,
there's so much truth in religion and myth because it's actually
yeah,
just fucking telling the story of the earth and
Of
yeah.
the
us.
It's
land,
just
of the
depends on
land.
your
Yeah.
perspective, right?
Yeah.
Like how you want to look at it.
And how's how the Phoenicians, the mystical, magical Phoenicians, they of the water. They disappeared out of the water. They're just of the water.
Yeah,
No one
yeah. The
knows where they came. Just came
Phoenicians,
from the water.
they're the ones who gave us the spells, right? The phonetic
Yes.
language, right? Phoenician, like
Uh-huh.
yeah,
And became the Israelites.
podcasters
Yeah. So
became the
like
Hebrews, yeah.
even our invaders are from the water.
Mm,
And like we know nothing about the water. Like the water down there could be fully functioning civilizations of entities we don't even know about
mm.
in the water.
Yeah, yeah.
But we are of the land.
We know less about the water than we do allegedly know about space, right?
Hmm. Space is the water.
Space is the water, that's true.
Yes, space is the water. So we're sitting here on the land, and the truth that we can grapple with is I am woman, you are man, we are of the earth, and we light campfires.
Yes. And we
That's
need
like
to
my whole
gather.
summary. And thank God the land has marijuana. Unfortunately, Beardale is all about the water. I'm sorry to tell you, Muddy.
Maybe,
Yes.
yeah, maybe I need to get on the
Yeah,
weed.
you need to move to wine. That is of the land.
Yeah, well, hops are of the land.
I guess hops is of the land. Yes,
Well, are
definitely.
we gonna have a wine when we catch up then in September?
Oh,
Yeah,
are we going
bloody
to have a
hope so.
wine, my friend? Are
Can
we going to have a wine?
we get a 5 liter cask of Dolce Rosso? Like,
Mate, who is running the
I'll bring
bar?
the
We're going to
cooler
have a
bar,
Mexican
man.
bar.
I'm going to get some cooler bar Riesling and I'll be there.
Yeah, we're definitely having a bar and hundreds of campfires. It's going to be a living. The Jolly Swag Tour is man, woman of the land around campfire for three
Mm,
days.
naturally assembled. So we've got a few things, but basically we're going to just let it self-assemble, right? With what people
Yeah,
oh,
bring
are
and
we
want.
doing? Is this on the? Is it going to go into the Sunday as well?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Friday
It's a
night,
camp out,
Saturday
man.
and Sunday.
No, because I've just got because we do our conference call Sunday morning, so I'll be right to do that one. All right.
Mate, you're
Mm.
the king of your reality, Dale. Are you right to do that? Are you right to do that on Sunday morning?
Well,
That's a
we'll
question we
work it
should
out.
ask
We'll work it
you.
out.
How much
Yeah.
wine are you planning to drink?
I'll remind you, like, midnight Saturday night, I'll be like, don't have that 14th wine. You've got a
Yeah,
thing
put it
tomorrow.
down, Dale. Put it down.
I reckon I was a bit seedy after the last one, actually.
Yes.
I think I had a few.
Oh, we had a hilarious time last time. That was so funny. Actually, so we've actually transformed that
That was,
farm,
yeah,
Dale.
Mulaney. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Kelly had us in stitches, or especially you,
that's
Dale.
right.
Geez,
In
man, you
I have
can't stand
stitches.
up. You were laughing so much.
I've never seen a woman command so much attention that didn't ask for it in that moment. I've told people about that, Kelly. I went in to get a drink in the kitchen with Kelly. We started talking. Someone else comes in. She keeps talking. Someone else. And then within 40
Yeah.
minutes, it's
It was
like
like the
20
Kelly
people.
show. She was up performing, and everyone's like, ah.
Yeah, it
But
was
you
a
know, like
funny one.
we didn't move to go outside. She just remained in the kitchen.
That's right. Talking, telling my stories. Yep. They were very funny. Well, actually, we've transformed the farm, Dale. We've actually built a stage now. The farm's looking
I've seen.
excellent. There's all
Same.
looking very, very cool. We're going to have a really good time. So I think everyone's going to be super pumped that you're coming, my friend. Now it's on the multi-dimensional airborne record that Dale is attending the Jolly Swag Tour
Yes, it's
for
imprinted in the
3 day camp
ether.
out.
Mm.
All your female fans can flock to you. Dale can
I
flock.
know, right? We're gonna have an influx of females. Oh, I just want to meet
Yeah,
Dale.
Dale's arrived. Dale's our pin-up boy for the truth community.
Jeez, mate, you're the local
Someone's got to
sex
do it, my
symbol
friend.
of YouTube.
Well, I'm excited to see the property.
Yeah, it's changed. It's
Yeah.
great.
It's looking good, man. We've done a lot of work with a lot of very cool volunteers coming,
Mm.
giving their time and expertise. So yeah, it's been
Once
painted.
again,
We put a massive big roof out the front of the cabin. Like we've got this big. You'll be impressed.
It's cool.
and once again, it's just the community coming together on the land and building of the land. Like that
Yeah.
is the reason we push it. It's because that is the most harmonious, unified feel for man and woman to be together, present, assembled together on the land and create of the land and be around campfires and stars. And that is the most powerful frequency that we as man and woman can actually move towards.
Mm.
Yep.
It's
All of
very
this shit is just like,
Yeah, it's very de-stressing, right? Time slows
yeah,
down. You start to get memories because you're actually making, physical memories, so time works differently. So get down there, guys. Link below. I'll be there
Awesome.
too, as
I'll
well
have
as
to share
Dale,
it.
just so you know.
will you, buddy? You're going to come, are you, Cam? Good, good. I'm
I'm
glad to
going to
hear it.
come. Sorry, Dale.
Well, what a crazy little chat there. Woo! Where did we go with that one?
I think we did pretty well, man.
I'm
I
good.
think
We had
I'm
an
fully
idea.
awake now, and I've got like a lot of pondering to do at 7:30 in the morning.
that's right,
A lot
Dale.
of what to do?
Pondering.
Pondering. Oh, yes, yes.
Like I was on the internet for the last week. I've been on the internet corresponding this newspaper and my work at Carbonate, and I reckon I probably would have used 22,000 liters of water.
Well,
I'm
that's
just
good.
saying,
I can't believe you
conceptually.
said 9 liters for like one AI image. Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
One
that's what they
image
say.
generated on chat is 9 liters of water.
And how many of them are being produced every
Oh
second?
man, there'd
Billions,
be
billions.
hundreds of thousands a day, I reckon, more
So now,
millions.
people, if you're thinking of saving the planet and you're thinking about clicking on that image,
But it's
then you
just
have to think
another
about
edge, isn't it? It's just
Yeah,
another fucking edge because, like, how can we validate that information?
yeah,
We will never be able to go, oh, look, I'm going to make this airborne multidimensional image that doesn't actually exist, and I'm going to translate it while I'm making it for 9 liters of actual water that does exist. And somehow in that water runs through this like infrastructure so I can generate this multidimensional image that doesn't exist in the air. Like it's
yeah,
fucking weird when you truly try to comprehend what is actually happening here
yeah. We're using physical water to create
it's
something that doesn't exist
using
in the
something to
air,
create
in the air
nothing.
to create nothing.
in the air.
It's kind of like the Australian government, right? They use all our resources and yet they create nothing.
Create
Yes,
nothing.
in the
Hmm.
air. Yeah, the Australian government exists of the air, but
Of the
they're ruled
air.
by the British, so they would be more ruled by the water.
The British, yeah, well, yeah, they went around the world and introduced maritime, so they're,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, they're the masters of the water.
Britannica,
Oh, but let's not
Brittany,
call them British. Let's call them Phoenicians.
the
Let's call
Phoenicians,
them
the
Israelites. Let's
government,
not
guys,
call
the
them British.
government. Yes, not the people. We love the people. That's the government.
Well, the fucking immigration that's going on around the world right now, that's enough. But then once again, that's an image
Uh, uh,
based on in the air images that we're receiving.
and
They
water,
say
yeah. Boat people or they're being flown in, right?
they say in Australia that 200,000 immigrants are being brought in every month.
It can't be that, can it? I
I
Month.
thought
know
about that.
that,
It
that's
can't
that's
be.
what I watched last night. Every single month. Well, that makes sense because if you were to comparison it with Europe, they're like on 1 million, 2 million a year.
Isn't that crazy though? Like back in the 90s,
Yeah,
they
you
were
don't see
literally
them.
they were bombing boats that were trying to get here. They were blowing
Mm.
them out of the water. Now
We
they're
were
like
like, every
raining them
time
to
I used to
come.
go overseas, everyone, they'd always go, "Oh, Australia, you've got a tight immigration policy." That was like a thing that I used to
Yeah,
always hear. I'm like, "Oh, do
Yep.
we?"
yeah,
And
yeah. And
We do for
now,
fruit. You can't bring a banana in, but you know, cane toads are okay apparently.
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I don't, so the whole immigration thing, I don't see it where I am, but I'm in a little pocket.
Mm.
Like, it's
We
Look,
don't
definitely,
I
see it. I
don't see
think it's
it.
mainly in the cities. We don't see it either, but
well,
yeah.
I have noticed when I go to Melbourne, but
Yeah,
they
Chinese.
tend to
Yes.
be, no, it's more Indians now. That's what I'm
Indian.
seeing.
Oh
Ah,
my
yes.
gosh.
Indians.
Yeah.
But
I
I
mean,
Really?
feel like Indians are every. It's same in Thailand now. They never used to be. Indians are everywhere.
yeah, they're
But they're
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah, they are.
But
And Chinese, like they were in Serbia. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Like they had all the fast food shop, or you know, the little deli things. It's crazy.
But it's an interesting thing, right? Because they throw you these statistics of millions and hundreds, but like again, an edge. We can't validate that. We fucking don't know. We can tell with our own eyes that in our cities here in Australia, particularly Melbourne and Sydney, they seem to be overpopulated by Chinese immigrants and now Indian immigrants. We can say that is valid. We can say that our petrol stations in rural Australia are owned by the Indians. We can say that our Italian restaurants are now owned by Chinese. We can say all that is kind of valid, right? But
Mm,
we're not like we walk around Malini and, I don't see hardly any
no.
non-white people. Really, I don't. It's like we see a lot of like excellent looking radical hippie white people, but we
Mm.
don't see any. But if you go to, but then you see these videos of Europe. Fuck me, man. Like that Sweden is the number one rape capital of the world, country of the world now. Sweden.
I was actually just talking to a friend in Sweden 2 days ago, and they were like, "Yeah, she
But what
she."
what did they say?
They said, "Yeah, she's lived there for about 15 years," and she said, "Yeah, it's." She's actually quite upset about it. She said it's out of control. And she
Mm,
said just because Swedes are very polite, they're very nice,
mm,
they don't say anything wrong, and um, yeah, she said like it's really bad.
mm,
Yeah, and there's like no-go zones. There's
mm.
areas you don't go into.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
So we're coming to the last battle led by the orcs. And the orcs are basically violently ascending onto Europe and the Western countries and continents, just only declaring destruction and violence. zero interest in creativity or, or even like invading and keeping things intact. Their whole premise is to destroy,
Yeah.
destroy.
And they'll
And
tell
that's,
you it, man. They're going to outbreed us. They sit there and
yeah,
they say, ha ha ha, you only have one or two kids. We have eight or 10. You
yeah,
won't exist, in another generation. And
yeah,
if that's where it's going, they're kind of right. But yeah,
yeah.
that they'll tell you, man. A lot of these different, cultures and faiths are like, yeah, man, we're here to take over.
Yeah, like they're orcs, right? So the orcs are taking over the world, right? And what follows the orcs is total desolation of the environment and the people and death to all.
Mm.
Orcs don't keep people alive. Orcs kill. Orcs rape and kill. Orcs don't have as much need for the, earthbound things like food or water or shelter or fire.
Mm.
Orcs are possessed. Orcs
There-
have a
there-
different creed.
there's gonna be a cultural rebellion though. You can feel it building up.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
like
it's
even with the do you see like with the march over Sydney Bridge and stuff like that?
yes,
And I've just been watching like a lot of the rhetoric online and some of the responses. And obviously people are like some people I follow that are political and ideologically Muslim, and then you got your Christian groups, and then you got your Christian Zionist groups, and then you got your Christian
Oh,
non
they're all
non-Zionist
Abrahamic.
group, and then you got and then you got white Aussies going, what the fuck's going on? And then, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But
So, what's your take on it? Because I thought it was when I mean I didn't look into it, but it looked like anti, J hats, right? Like pro-Palestine, stop the genocide. But Kelly said she watched some stuff and it was actually the opposite.
Yeah, there was Taliban flags and there was fucking big posters of
it's
that
like
dude
what
with
you
his
said there, Cal.
guns
It's
and
like what you're seeing in the air. Because yes,
yeah,
I've seen both that, but then I've
exactly.
spoken to people that were there, and they said, "Oh, it was fantastic." It was like so. It's again like what you see online and what was there is there. But I'm sure
Because
there's obviously many groups with many agendas, and all you got to do is mash it up, paint into a certain thing, and send it out online, and you've got a narrative. It's
That's
like,
right. That's called an algorithm, everyone, and
yeah,
you've all
yeah,
individually got
oh,
one.
that's the word.
yeah,
That's that's the
yeah.
word.
They just create echo chambers.
I
Like
was doing all this mishmash talk. You're like, yes, that's called an algorithm. Yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
that's right. And we all have an algorithm. We all have a personal um, algorithm of the air. What is that word, algorithm? What is that? Let's break that one up. What
it's,
the fuck is algorithm?
it's Al Gore having a bit of a dance.
Yeah, algorithm. Like algorithm. What is the like?
Let's get the etymology on that.
Yeah, take that word apart because we say it so
Mm.
frequently and it basically puts us all individually into a controlled mainframe perception of reality. And even if you're a truth member who's like obsessed with finding out the truth, you are algorithmized into what your version of truth is going to tell you. Because how many friends have we had who have become born agains and their truth has completely transformed from one perception to the other overnight? Algorized. They've been algorithmized.
Mm.
So tell me, boys, what you
It's
do?
pretty boring, actually. Just as it comes from Greek, um, algorithmos, and is widely translated works of algebra. Or hmm.
Works of
I
algebra.
got to I got to
That
dig
that makes
deeper on
sense.
that. That's pretty shit.
So give me algebra.
So rhythm is
Oh,
basically
okay.
flow.
What we want the etymology, don't we?
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying so far is algorithms are algebra in flow, algebra
Yeah.
in flow in your life, algebra in flow. That makes sense.
Or Al Gore has its roots in the Latin meaning cold or coldness, which
Okay, listen to this
signifies
one.
chill or frost. And then rhythm was um, to flow. So the cold flow.
That
Mm.
water and air.
I've got one here, Cal.
Mm.
Algebra. So algorithm has come from the word algebra, and algebra originates as an Arabic term, al-jabar, which
Arabic, of course.
means which means restoration or completion.
Oh, interesting.
Specifically, it comes to the title of a treatise by the Persian mathematician. So it means, isn't that weird? Okay, it means completion or restoration.
Yeah,
So when
yeah, yeah.
you're talking
Algebra.
about Well, I guess like in that term that if you look at an algorithm, it's like that is the completion of everything that we've, I don't know, that we've like wrapped up and
Well,
this is what you get now.
complete control, right? Like, here's your echo chamber.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. Like basically everything of the air, offline, online, the algorithms, that's all ultimate completion of their agenda, is it not? It's completion of mass. It's the completion of the mass taking over from the land. From it's that whole mass. What the fuck is mass? Like honestly, mass algebra. What is it? It's incomprehensible.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like when the experts talk, when the
Yeah.
NASA scientists talk. It's mass, it's incomprehensible. Like it
Mm,
Yeah.
makes no sense. It's of the air once again. It's intangible. You can't sit there and use actual objects, like get a dozen pens and do an algebraic equation. You couldn't use objects and turn that into algebra.
no.
Yeah, because
You
well,
know what I'm
doesn't
saying?
algebra relies on the unknown, doesn't it? It's because like
Yeah.
this, it's not, it's nothing that's real. It's this unknown plus this unknown.
Mm.
So it's completion of the unknown. It's completion of moving our perception of
Consciousness.
reality, our
Yeah.
consciousness into the air.
The unknown. Things that we can't comprehend.
Yeah, this and what's the definition of the air legally, Campbell? Do you remember? It was to involve spirits. Do I have the book here? um it was so weird, their definition of air legally.
Well, they call them like a plane's called a ship too, isn't it?
A plane is called a ship, yes.
It's an airship.
Airship.
An
Yep.
aeroplane, yeah, yeah. And they used to call captains of ships, they used to be called pilots.
All right.
Yes, that's right. I'm
Mm.
just reading something here. I'll find it. But do you
Yeah.
remember, Campbell, what they said
No,
about?
I'm having a look now. I
Oh,
can't.
I've got it. Here it
You
is.
got it?
Here's the air jurisdiction. Living and this is the definition. Living and dead souls, this is the definition. Living and dead souls, spirits, angels, demons, ideas, global in nature, are controlled by the Pope and his appointees. That's the air jurisdiction trust. The sea
Yeah.
jurisdiction, all vessels, mariners, sailors, merchants, creatures of the sea, international in nature, are controlled by British monarchs. The land jurisdiction, all resources of the land, including people, animals, plants, and minerals, are national in nature and are controlled by the Spanish king. There's the three jurisdictions in trust law. I'm just
Gee,
sort of,
Spanish king.
yeah.
Bloody hell. That's not,
Anyway, I
but
shouldn't be talking about this yet because I
yeah,
haven't
I mean,
comprehended it
geez,
properly. I
yes,
haven't, I'm
you're
being in,
revealing
yeah, it would
truths.
take,
Yeah, save it, Cal, when you can.
yeah, okay, knows. And
Yes.
what was their definition of birth? Wasn't it just,
A birth is basically any stillborn baby, I think,
no, it
and that's
was,
it. Like any still,
no, no,
I don't
includes
get it.
stillborns. So their
No,
whole definition of birth just said includes stillborns.
and
That
yeah,
was it.
is
That
that
was it.
it? That was
I'm
it.
sure
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
it.
Nothing else.
No,
Nothing else but
includes
includes.
stillborns. I'm
But
sure that
basically,
was the
you're born dead.
definition.
What the
Yep.
fuck?
Oh, it's fascinating.
Birth, birth, the
Well,
act of
maybe it
being.
would be because it includes
No, that's not
stillborns.
it.
Maybe the birth is just talking about the placenta.
I think that's how they do it legally,
But then,
but that's the scam because they get us to admit, right, to sign that we are the birth certificate, so we are the dead entity, and that's the
yeah,
whole
so
we're dead and lost at sea, and
hmm.
until we come back and claim our inheritance, then they're just going to use it, right?
Yeah, well, include stillborns would be because like you have to be dead to be a
Yeah,
birth. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. That's the whole premise is there's no, live birth.
there's no live birth. Yeah,
Ba- Babies are born alive, but as far as birth, that's all death, right? This is a whole spell
Yeah.
casting.
It's gone down a rabbit hole. Like, let's stop on that topic because we don't understand it properly yet enough. But I tell you what, it's definitely the direction that we're heading in
Mm,
because, like, with all of this airborne tomfoolery and all of this water fuckery, like, the land is the place you want to understand your sovereignty. Honestly,
mm,
this is where the future of the new level of the game is. And to
mm.
imagine walking around the land and not giving a fuck because you're completely out of the jurisdiction of their legal of their economic, all of their regulations, all of their penalties, all of their taxes, all of their everything.
Yeah,
Like that's a new level of the game, right?
that's what I want, man.
That's why people move overseas, because you think, oh, fuck yeah, India is excellent. There's no laws. You can build, you can buy, you can create, you're free, that's why you go, right, to Bali. It's like, yeah, I mean, we're free here. There's like all that regulation is off my brain, off my head.
That is absolutely the reason I come here. It's like
Yeah.
it's like I can go. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
the monkeys off your back. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. You can basically walk around knowing that you're not going to get fined for not wearing a seatbelt. Hello, or smoking in a inside or anywhere near people at all. Hello, we're in
Or
the
have to
Great
pay
Tobacco
$100
War.
for a pack of ciggies.
Yeah,
Gee,
fuck that.
that's yeah,
It's so nice to buy a pack of ciggies and you just don't even think about how much it's
like
costing.
five
Yeah,
bucks.
it's
Yeah,
like $2. Yep, I know.
that's crazy, man.
All right, dudes. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there because I think we'll just go down other rabbit holes and whatever. But
Yes.
I think that this whole conversation has led us to conclude here is that we are currently in and heading into a future very strongly that is not real.
Mm.
Like I mean, it's less real than what isn't real about being real. Like it's less. It's more degrees of less real. So all this conversation about digital ID and digital this and this, like it's not even real.
No, no. Digital, yeah.
So
That's the circuit, man. Yeah, I
I
agree.
guess you have to decide how you want to spend your next 50 years.
Yeah.
Like,
That's it.
how do you want to spend it? Like, what do you literally want to be doing with your next 50 years? Like, how much of this airborne, multi-dimensional fucking thing are you going to give your time to? How much of it? How much are you going to listen to it? They've owned it since the beginning.
Mm.
There's nothing free about it. There's not even free thinking on it because everything in it, including myself, is still a programmed version of myself via this multi-dimensional thing that's not real.
Mm. Yeah,
You
yeah.
can see what's the obvious answer to like rejecting that too, right? It's like everything, it's very simple.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I always remember back to our chat with the Strongs, and they said that
Mm.
the Indigenous made a conscious decision to walk away from technology.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would they do this? Was like 4 years ago. I'm like, why would they do
Yeah,
that though?
that's
And now I'm
okay.
like, I understand why they
Yeah,
did
yeah. Yeah, it
that.
fucking makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But Campbell wasn't also a
So
part of
it's
that
happened.
story. Wasn't there also a part of that story that the Indigenous gave them the technology and walked away? That Captain Cook came as a warring entity to take that technology that they held, and
Mm.
they, instead of fighting for it or using it, they gave it to
They
them
walked
and
it away.
walked away.
Yeah. That they probably knew, right? We'll be back in 300 years when you've used our technology to destroy yourselves.
Well, I mean, that's an interesting podcast we should follow up on. We should
Yeah.
get Cindy, we should do a bit of a round table with all the elders that we know and sit them down directly, the three of us, and go hardcore into what was that.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like the Ark of the Covenant again too, because
Yeah,
only a very specific few people could touch it, or you would be
yeah,
destroyed.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's right.
Needed all the oils and the rituals and all this kind of stuff. And
And you had to lose your balls.
Yeah,
mm,
so
the,
that tells me itself to like it's very likely technology.
Definitely.
oh, it's
That's
definitely technology. And the whole word
The
arc, right?
beginning and the
Of a
end of
covenant.
technology.
A
yes,
covenant's an agreement. And an arc, I always think of an
yes,
arc of electricity, right? Like a spark. So it's literally the agreement of electricity, like the
mm.
L jurisdiction,
I mean,
electronic.
it's so brilliant in nature. It's so brilliant in nature.
It was definitely like yeah, it was definitely electricity too, because it would destroy you, it would like zap you.
Yeah,
And
yeah. And then like the gin, right? Who were created from smokeless fire, which sounds like electricity.
yeah,
All they had to do, all this consciousness had to do was communicate one time to Abraham.
Yeah.
Just one level of communication, and then all of
And
this is
look
unfolded.
look at all the yeah.
All of this is unfolded.
Oh,
Like, and how clever that all of this is unfolded through possession and through us being used and utilized to carve out the path to take it to
hmm.
exactly where it was always going to conclude, which is now and here and in a moment very soon with the third temple and all the stuff that's going on there. Like conclusion. It took them from Abraham to now to Trump. Abraham to Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
suggestion. Like you said, all they have to do is like drop a few little, dark seeds in the minds of men and it grows, right?
Well, I mean, literal seeds, because let's talk about manna, literal
Yeah,
seeds.
yeah. Manna, seeds falling from heaven.
Hello, did you know
Manna,
about that story, Dale?
Manna Santo with their Terminator seeds.
Yeah. I mean, the fact, anyway, I don't even get it. It's in the
Anyway,
show.
but
We'll
yeah,
talk
when
about
we
it live.
finishing this, God, we're still rattling and battling on. Jeez. Let's yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
Poison
do,
pills.
we'll
The
have to have
first
a chat again
pharmaceuticals.
sometime.
I'll have to stay in touch, and well, I
Yes.
mean, it's only a few weeks, right? It's only a
Yeah,
few
yeah,
weeks.
It's a
yeah.
few
We're
weeks, buddy.
basically well about a month, just under a month.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm heading back. Yeah, I'm back in Oz in a couple of weeks.
Awesome.
Yep. All right.
Well,
Cool.
we'll
Where do
see
you
you in
land when you're
person,
back in
man.
Oz? Where's
On the
back in
land,
Oz?
in a
Gold Coast. I'll be on the
physical.
Gold Coast.
Ah, Gold Coast, easy man, easy. Well, you need to come up to Malini, and see us. But the Gold Coast, excellent. It's a 3-hour trip from there. It'll be easy peasy, bro.
Yeah, perfect. Good trip.
Mate, we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great, great time, everyone.
Yes.
So if you haven't
I'm
bought a
looking forward to
ticket,
seeing.
fucking hell, now Dad's coming. It's official.
Get
And
the tickets.
yeah, let's go. It really would help us if you bought them in advance, people. This one show, just this one. I know we always get to this phase where I'm just like, oh my God. And Campbell's like, it'll be fine. And then we sell out. But really, this time round, I would love you to buy them in advance.
Yes.
Because this time round, we have to do physical things to host you.
Yeah.
As in, the more people coming, the more grass we have to cut, the more
Yes.
clearings we have to make, the more campfires we have to build. So
More
please,
food,
if
we
you're
need
thinking about
food,
it
water, all this stuff. So even if you
this
want
week,
to pay on the weekend, which you can, just send us an email and tell us you're coming, just so we kind of know how many people to expect.
yes. All right. Good. Excellent. Well, Dale, fascinating conversation as always, my friend. I
Yes,
cannot
man.
wait
Thank you so much.
to do this. What I'm going to suggest is, because we're going to do the live event on Saturday night at the farm. It'll be the Saturday, because we have to wait for the dark so we can use the projector. If we don't blow the power circuit of Tabulum, who knows? Officially, this farm is not paying for electricity right now because we don't have an account. So electricity is flowing to us. But what we'll do is we will do the show and then freestyle with you and bring in all of your context. It'll be a fantastic, probably till 1 o'clock in the morning conversation live, everyone, and under the stars for the first time. And you can smoke joints the whole time because we're on our farm. So that's pretty fucking excellent. We're not in a community venue run by, beautiful but little old ladies with very strong ideas about what is good and what is bad. So I'm very excited that this time round we can really have that level the whole night and the whole day. So excellent, everyone. Any
Yes.
last words, boys?
Jelly Factor, we'll see you there.
Yeah.
Link
And it's Campbell's birthday Wednesday, everyone. So happy fucking birthday,
Happy
bro.
birthday, Campbell.
Oh, thanks,
Yeah.
mate. Yes. Yep. 5 days. Gosh.
Yeah.
Just getting started.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. I'm
How
getting
old are you?
wiser. I'm very wise. Very
Yes.
wise.
Well, anyway, I'm taking him out tonight. We're going to have an adventure. He doesn't know what's happening. And it's going to be, of course, because it's the 8-8 Lions portal tonight. How do you feel about such things as that, Dale? What's your vibe on things like...
I hadn't taken that into account. No, I don't know.
Mate, this is apparently the greatest, most, vibrant day of the year to manifest your year forward. This is the one that so many millions of groups around the world are like focused on, is the 8-8 Lionsgate portal. So yes, I'm taking Campbell somewhere where we can revel in the vibe that we want to experience for the next 12 months.
Ooh, nice.
That's my plan. So if you're ever going to manifest anything,
You need to capitalize on your manifestation tonight, then, Campbell.
Yeah, ride the wave, my friend. Ride the wave.
People are going to get back to you and buy tickets very early, so that'll make it much easier for you.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
That's right.
Thoughtful.
Woohoo! Yeah, let's sell out the Jolly Swag Tour tonight, Campbell.
Yes.
While we're like manifesting the next 12 months. Excellent.
That's what we want. Yes.
Although a sellout would give me so many Virgo stress balls.
I'll share it on my email list too.
All right, good.
Thank you very
much. Get it in there, man. Get it out there. Excellent. All right, guys. Well, lovely and fucking excellent to see you, Mr. Holmes, as always.
You too.
Always.
Enjoy the rest of your time becoming John Claude Van Damme, and we'll see you on the farm.
Get him out, Dale. Excellent. All right, guys.
I'll see you there.
All right.
Yep.
Love you guys.
Big love, everyone. See you next
See
week.
ya.
Bye.
Bye.